You think you've seen the ultimate off-road machines? Think again. Forget your Force 4 pickups. In history, humanity built true mechanical monsters, steel giants born to conquer ice and snow, where temperatures freeze engines solid and the terrain is impassable. This isn't science fiction. They are the biggest vintage off-road snow trucks you won't believe exist. Today we're digging into the 10 most insane machines ever to roll on ice. Which one would you pick to survive the apocalypse? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the notification bell, because you won't want to miss a second of this journey. Let's go back to 1950s Canada. The mission: conquer the frozen tundra and muskeg for oil exploration. The solution? The Nodwell 110. This was no ordinary truck. It was a multi-purpose two-tracked vehicle designed with a single goal: to float on terrain where other vehicles would only sink. With a 23-ton payload and a 260-horsepower engine, its power was undeniable, but the real secret lay in its torsional coil spring suspension and wide-track design. The ground pressure of the Nodwell 110 was incredibly low, only about 4.3 psi when fully loaded. To put that in perspective, that's less pressure than a human footprint. This allowed it to glide over deep snow, thick mud, and thin ice without any trouble. It was like a heavy-duty hovercraft, navigating places previously thought impossible to traverse. The Nodwell 110 became a legend in the Arctic resource industries. It could be equipped with cranes, drills, or simply transport extremely sensitive equipment over the roughest terrain. Its flexibility and reliability paved the way for large-scale operations in the coldest lands on the planet, a true testament to ingenious Canadian engineering. From Canada, we head to the 1970s Soviet Union for a military legend, the ATS-59G. When you need to tow 14-ton artillery pieces or heavy radar systems across the Russian winter front, you need more than just a truck. You need an artillery tractor. The ATS-59G, with a 300-horsepower V12 diesel engine at its heart, based on the legendary T-54 tank engine, was the answer. The ATS-59G wasn't just powerful, it was built to survive. Its large cabin could hold 7 people and was fully sealed against NBC, nuclear, biological, chemical agents, a mandatory requirement during the Cold War. But its off-road capability was what truly amazed. With a ground pressure of only 0.522 km/2, it could easily clear 1.1-meter high obstacles and ford water up to 1.5 meters deep. This machine was the backbone of Soviet heavy artillery, ensuring weapons were always ready for combat regardless of terrain or weather. Even after being decommissioned from military service, many ATS-59Gs continued to serve in scientific expeditions in Siberia, proving its durable design was nearly eternal against the harshness of nature. Also from the 1970s Soviet Union, the Ural 5920 is a monster designed for places where the concept of a road doesn't exist. Originally built to conquer the swampy marshlands of Siberia, engineers quickly realized that anything capable of crossing a swamp could also be unstoppable in snow. Equipped with a powerful V8 engine and an all-wheel drive system, the Ural 5920 was the definition of invincible. Its secret lay in its enormous low-pressure tires. These wheels acted like snowshoes for a giant, distributing the machine's weight over a vast area, allowing it to travel over soft snow and melting ice with ease. The vehicle featured an articulated body, allowing it to bend and twist over uneven terrain without losing traction. The Ural 5920 was an ultimate logistics machine. It could carry tons of supplies, equipment, or soldiers to the most remote outposts, places where even helicopters struggled to land. Watching a Ural 5920 plow through the snow was like witnessing a prehistoric steel beast on the move, a machine that never understood the meaning of stuck. This machine looks like it drove straight out of a 1960s sci-fi movie, and reality isn't far off. This is the ZIL E167, a Soviet 6x6 off-road supertruck prototype from 1962. And it was an absolutely insane machine. It was equipped with two 7.0L V8 engines, each producing 180 horsepower, both located in the rear of the vehicle. Why two? Because one simply wasn't enough. What made the ZIL E167 so unique was its design. Both the front and rear axles were steerable, giving it incredible maneuverability. It rolled on 6 enormous wheels nearly 1.8 meters, 6 feet in diameter. The vehicle's underside was completely protected by flat metal sheets, allowing it to slide like a sled over deep snow when the wheels could no longer reach solid ground. This 7-ton machine could reach speeds of 65 km/h, 40 mph on the road, and blast through 1 meter thick snow like it was nothing. However, with its overly complex powertrain, running 2 engines, it never entered mass production. Only one was ever built, making the ZIL E167 one of the rarest and coolest legends in off-road history. If the ZIL E167 was an experiment, the MAZ 537 was the final result of absolute power. Introduced in the late 1950s, this 8A8 Soviet military truck was designed for one mission: to pull the heaviest things the Army had. We're talking tanks, ballistic missiles, and equipment weighing up to 65 tons. To do that, it needed a giant heart. And its heart was a 38.8-liter V12 diesel engine, yes, 38.8 liters, producing 525 horsepower. This monster engine was placed directly behind the cab, giving the MAZ 537 its signature aggressive look. This machine wasn't just strong, it was built for the most extreme weather. The cabin was equipped with an engine-independent heating system, ensuring the crew's safety even in the Siberian winter. The MAZ 537 is the epitome of brute force. Its 888 drivetrain and incredibly durable chassis meant that no terrain was off-limits, including thick ice and snow. It is a true legend, a tractor that defined the military might of a generation and is still in use in many parts of the world today. The Soviets weren't the only ones building giants. On the other side of the Iron Curtain, 1970s West Germany had its own answer, the Faun SLT50, nicknamed the Elephant, and it absolutely earned that name. This was an 808 heavy equipment transporter, HET, designed specifically to haul the Leopard 1 and Leopard 2 main battle tanks. Unlike the MAZ, the Elephant featured a twin-turbo V8 engine, later upgraded, placed behind the cab. This machine was an engineering marvel, capable of pulling 52 tons with ease. It was also equipped with 2 powerful hydraulic winches, each rated at 18.6 tons, so it could pull a disabled tank onto its trailer all by itself. Although primarily designed for roads and light terrain, the sheer power and 808 drive of the Faun Elephant made it a formidable vehicle when facing harsh European winter conditions. It was a steel elephant, not just powerful but also technically sophisticated, a symbol of West German engineering prowess. This machine defies every definition of a wheel. Meet the Crowley Rolligon. This technology was invented in 1951 by William Albee, who was inspired by watching Inuit use inflated sealskins to drag heavy boats across the ice. The result was the Rolligon, enormous airbag-like tires with extremely low pressure between 5 and 7 psi. These tires allow the vehicle to float over nearly any surface: deep snow, swamps, quicksand. Its ground pressure is so low that you can literally drive one over a person without injuring them. Crowley's Catco company took this technology to new heights in the 1970s, especially for the Alaskan oil industry. These machines could transport heavy cargo to completely inaccessible locations. The Rolligon doesn't tear up the ground, it glides gently over it. This isn't brute force, this is ultimate finesse. It was the perfect solution for the most fragile and extreme terrains, a genius idea born from observing nature and turned into an unbelievable machine. When one vehicle body isn't enough, why not use 2? This is the Vityaz DT-30, the Soviet Knight. Developed in the 1980s, this is one of the most successful articulated all-terrain vehicles ever built. It consists of two tracked units joined by a hydraulic articulation, allowing it to twist and bend like a steel snake. With a 710 horsepower 12-cylinder multi-fuel diesel engine and a 30-ton payload capacity, the DT-30 is nearly unstoppable. The two-body design means that if the front unit clears an obstacle, the rear unit will push it, and vice versa. Its extremely wide tracks provide ultra-low ground pressure, making it ideal for Arctic tundra, swamps, and endless deep snow. The Vityaz DT-30 is also fully amphibious, making it a true all-terrain machine. It can transport troops, missile systems, or scientific equipment absolutely anywhere. This is the pinnacle of articulated tracked vehicle engineering, a mechanical dragon born to dominate the wildest and coldest lands. We are now entering the realm of true giants. In the 1950s, to resupply the distant early warning DEW line radar stations in the Arctic, the company Alaska Freight Lines turned to the legendary inventor R.G. Letourneau. The result was the VC-22 Snow Freighter. This wasn't a truck. This was a true overland train. At 274 feet, 83.5 meters long, this monster consisted of a locomotive power car and 5 cargo cars. But here's the craziest part. The entire train had 24 wheels, and every single wheel had its own electric motor built into the hub. Power was supplied by two 400-horsepower Cummins diesel generators in the power car. It rolled on 88-inch tall, 2.2 meters, balloon tires. The Snow Freighter was a daring logistical solution, capable of carrying 125 tons of cargo, 25 tons per car, across hundreds of miles of ice and snow. Although it ultimately met with an accident, the VC-22 proved a revolutionary concept. With no need for tracks, just enough willpower and insane engineering, you could move an entire train anywhere. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is the king. The biggest, longest, and most ambitious off-road machine ever built, the Letourneau TC-497, also known as the Overland Train Mark II. If the Snow Freighter was a train, the Mark II was a fleet. Built for the U.S. Army in the late 50s, this land train was an astonishing 572 feet long, over 174 meters. It consisted of 1 control car, 9 cargo cars, and 2 power cars. Just like the Snow Freighter, it used electric motors in every wheel, but instead of diesel engines, the Mark II was powered by 4 solar 10MC gas turbine engines, similar to helicopter engines, generating thousands of total horsepower. The control car had 1 turbine, and each of the 2 power cars had 1. This monster was designed to haul massive cargo loads across the Arctic or desert without any infrastructure. The control cab was as tall as a 3-story building, with full living quarters for its 6-man crew. Although it was eventually made obsolete by heavy-lift helicopters, the TC-497 remains an eternal monument to human ambition. It is now on display at the Yuma Proving Ground, a reminder that we once dared to build giants. From agile tracked vehicles like the Nodwell 110 to tank haulers like the MAZ-537 and the Elephant, all the way to the unbelievable land trains like the Overland Train Mark II. These are the mechanical legends that wrote history in the coldest places on Earth. They are proof that the only limit is human imagination. Thanks for watching. Which machine impressed you the most? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel to join us on our next journey exploring incredible machines. See you next time.